Why, hello everyone. Welcome to a Ticats Talk Network live stream. Lucas, my friend. I don't know if Lucas can hear me. Lucas, I don't think your mic's working or on. But we are here to discuss Ticat news as of the last couple of weeks. Lucas, can you hear me?
Hello?
Here. There we go. Now I can hear you.
All right.
Were you able
my
to
AirPods?
Were you able to hear me the whole entire time?
Yes.
Okay. I just wanted to make sure. While you do that, let me go see if there's any other interesting news. Nothing that I can see. I didn't add him either. Frig, I gotta. Chris Smith. Oh, I gotta add it. Wow, I have not been paying attention to my depth chart whatsoever. Because I've been forgetting to put all the new people that we just got on. So Phillip Brooks is wide receiver. So I'm gonna put him over here. Phillip Brooks. Johnny Augustine I put on yesterday. Yeah. And who else do we have? Chris Smith. Brooks is wide receiver. Chris Smith. Running back.
Sweet.
Running back. Kick return.
All right. Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Sweet.
Nicholas Millsop. Keaton Brugling. He's a wide receiver. And we have an offensive lineman. Let's see, what else did I miss? Let's select Hamilton, just Hamilton. Let's see. Stubblefield, I have Lawler, I have Garbutt, Menard. Those are all free agents. You know what? Who I'm surprised has not come back?
Who?
Flowers.
I know. But then I see him post things about like a camp that he's doing and whatnot in the Hamilton, like Stony Creek area. And it's like, well,
because he's a free agent.
Technically, yes, you are right.
Okay, so I gotta go and look to see where Ottawa had Bridgelington. Like, I mean, we have so many receivers, it's not even funny. I want to say week 20, he would have. Oh, they had him on the practice squad.
Yeah, I'm kind of shocked we're bringing in as many receivers that we are.
Right? Is it practice squad? Or is he injured?
And like, very limited to no defensive guys. Like, I know we send a lot of defensive guys at the beginning, and before the CFL free agency opened up, but like, it's been pretty limited, in my opinion.
Don't tell me that he's been on practice squad all of last year. Okay, so he played on the Wolotarski side. Okay, so let's put him here behind Hakunu Novanu. Bennington. Okay, so he's off there. Chris Smith. Oh, this is gonna be hard.
Yeah, like we got a lot of receivers, which
We
I'm not
have
mad about.
we
But
have
like
running backs.
6 running backs.
Yes.
Holy shit. Well, you know what? There's a there is a reason that Winnipeg has had so much continual success. It's because they bring in a lot of new guys, and
No,
they
no, but I mean, you figure we have Bell,
yeah
Lee Trey,
yeah
Augustine, Chris
yeah
Smith, who
yeah.
most likely Chris Smith will just return. Then you still have Peterson and Spencer Brown.
Wow.
Like, I don't even know where to put Chris Smith. Like, do we see him as a 4 or do we see him as a 3?
I don't know because there's not a whole lot of tape on him, so it's like like it's
Because I can't see them signing Augustine now and then cutting him.
not something like that. No, like I think he's probably our number 2.
So you're saying Lee Trey is going to be a fullback,
I think he's going to be a more fullback position, like we have Javoni Robinson and had James Tuck.
but then he's also going to be the short
Short
yardage.
distance. Yeah, yeah. And like I think in a perfect world, I'm kind of shocked Powell's still around, I'm not gonna lie. Not that there's anything wrong with him, but
D-
I was thinking that
d-
before like Vernon Adams and Trey Ford and all that got all
10.
figured out that potential
So
trades in the realm of
this
possibilities.
this is going to be the interesting year because all 5 of our quarterbacks are free agents at the end of the year.
That's lovely.
I mean, Tags, I for sure they would be dumb if they didn't re-sign him. I think Bo, I think's
I think
done at
Bo's
the end
done.
of this year. So then it's almost like, okay, next year we're gonna go with Tags' little brother and Powell as our quarterbacks next year.
Yeah, I think this year, I think in camp, Powell and Talia Tagovailoa are going to battle it out for QB2. And like I don't think QB2 it goes to Powell. He's been here obviously. Yes, he is under contract, signed to a bigger contract, but Tagovailoa can run and he can throw and he has a lot of
Okay, so
experience.
here's my theory. Okay, so if we have him, why don't we use him as a short yardage quarterback and get him some CFL experience?
I don't think he's like heavy enough and big enough in that sense. Like I
Yeah,
think
but
he's a pretty
in the end, you basically just push your offensive line forward and
yeah.
fall with your offensive line.
Yeah, I mean, you're not wrong.
Because I
And I think,
mean,
you remember, I think it was Labor Day. Was it not Labor Day when we used him a lot for short distance and like trick play
we
type of thing?
used him for one play, and that was it. No, it wasn't that. It was our first win of the season, and it was against Toronto where he scored that rushing touchdown.
Okay. Yeah, I knew it was against Toronto. But
Um, let me see here. Let me see what
I mean,
Stevens is, because Stevens. Okay, Stevens is two. Dang, that guy's 245. Crapola.
yeah, that's a big guy right there.
Yeah, but then I can't see Chad Kelly being that much bigger than. What's Chad Kelly? Chad Kelly is
I'm expecting.
216. Okay, so let's go see what who I call Tags because it's just easier for me to say that than it is his actual roster or his actual last name. Okay, so he is. Yeah, he's 200.
Yeah, I mean, like again, it's hard to see. I don't know. I mean, I think for short distance and if we want to run off tackle type of thing, with the quarterback, I think he's our guy. He's fast. He's quick. He can throw it. Perfect.
So
If we want to just push it down their throat, I think it has to be Leatre. Like he played rugby his whole life growing up. I had a conversation with him and played rugby his whole life growing up, and then transitioned over to football. Like he has, you know.
You know what I found
But
out today is Johnny Augustine. So you knew Johnny Augustine was a real estate agent, right?
I did not know that.
So he's actually a real estate agent in the off season in Georgetown.
Okay, interesting.
So I mean, I'm sure there's a few years left.
Yeah, I mean, like he's 5'9", and he's 39. Or
He's not
39. My gosh, no,
39.
he's 31. Sorry, I
was
got
gonna
five foot
say.
nine. I got 5'9" and 30 in my head, and then it was 39 came out. But like, I mean, he was behind Oliveira, and when he went down, he's a very good number two. I'm very happy with that pickup. Um, it's another guy in the locker room. Like he's a two-time Grey Cup champion. If he was the backup or not, I mean, like he's a two-time Grey Cup champion, and getting a guy with that experience and the knowledge and just the leadership with that, like being a winner and understanding what it takes to go into that from like the running back side of things, but also just the team
So
side of things.
who
Like,
was it? I was having a discussion with someone the other day. I think I mentioned it to you of how we were talking about like that there's not I forget who it was. Let me just go through my messages here. Who it was with. No, it wasn't him. It's probably this person. Of how like there's not that many American positions, like backup positions left.
no,
No, and I'll explain why in a second. Like if you
oh, I
really
think
think
you
about it,
mentioned me. Yeah, I mean, like I don't know. I looked at the depth chart that we got, and looks good, looks great. But like,
where
I
did
mean,
I
I know
who
we
did
got
I see it
Amos. I know
with?
we got Stubblefield. I mean,
I seen it.
that D
Okay,
line
so it
scares
wasn't
me a little
him.
bit just because it's unproven. Like it's not that I
Oh,
don't think, but like,
what I think it was is because there's only what is it 19 Americans that we can have. And then if you really count about it, 20 if you include the national, whatever you want to call it. So that would mean both right tackles are American, so that's 2. White, Bridges, and Lawler, that's 5. You don't count quarterbacks. Bell's 6. Subtlefield's 7. And then if you
yeah,
include Peters, Talbert, Amos, and Moxie, that's 11. And then if we decide to do all 4 Americans as defensive ends, you have, so that's what, 15? Include Wilburn and Wilson if you don't go Canadian at middle linebacker. That's 17. That leaves you two backups for Americans.
Jesus, that's
That's what I mean. Like, it's going to be tight. Unless,
that's
it's...
that's why I was like when I saw Adam O'Clair hit the market at free agency. Uh, I was like, oh,
Oh,
okay,
like
well, he's ours.
today?
No, no,
Are
no,
you...
no. No, a while ago. He was from Saskatchewan, a top Canadian linebacker, really good player.
Okay.
Ended up going to BC. I
Oh,
believe
okay.
part of the reason why they released that guy today. Um,
Hmm.
and I was like, okay, so he's going to go to he's coming here because we need linebackers. Our
Yeah.
linebacker core was weaker that it has to be for next year, which is not ideal. And like then I'm thinking like he's Canadian, so good age, heck of a player. I really thought he was coming to Hamilton, and then he goes out west to BC,
Yeah.
which
Who am I looking for? I'm looking to see if. Okay, he is an American. Okay, so again, that's another thing is like I'm not gonna lie, I can see a good friend of yours getting cut as a
well,
TV.
I
If you know who
mean,
I'm talking about.
I know who you're talking about, but
I get the only thing that I can see him like because if we keep an American, one of them is going to be returner.
yeah,
So I mean, it's going to be him, Chris Smith, and a few other people battling. Wooden that was with
yeah,
us last year.
yeah,
Him,
okay,
like there's going to be a few of them that are battling for that kick returner. And who's to say Patman even makes the team this year?
100%, 100%. That's just it. So I think that like if Flowers is truly unsigned, and that is I mean I know he's been on my list, that he's unsigned. I don't know what the deal is if he's just playing it out, and maybe he didn't get any other
Oh,
offers anywhere else, and he's
I
just waiting on Hamilton.
I
Who
want to
knows?
see if that person that I mentioned to you is Canadian. Is he Canadian? No, even he's American. So I even see him having a hard time making the team if we sign him.
Flowers.
No, the one that I text you about,
Okay.
like even he's an American. So I mean, if you include all of our defensive linemen, starters, Americans, I'm just trying to think with what we know now on because I can guarantee you, second overall, they're going defense. There's no ands, ifs, or buts. Either defensive line or linebacker, they're going Canadian. The only other spot that I could see them going other than those is if they're not confident in Moxie starting in corner.
How I look at I'm looking at our defense right now. I switch.
Are you
Let me
looking at
tell
my
you.
screen or no?
Yeah, I'm looking at your
Oh,
screen. Oh God. Okay,
yeah,
so
that's what I mean. It's not
your screen. This is what I do. Okay, I
okay.
put. This is not easy.
You know, it's not.
I put Amos at free safety. He's just bigger, and that's where he was with Toronto. Um, I moved Katsantonis to left
Am
halfback.
he was he? I thought he was halfback
I could have sworn he was a
because
safety.
I thought Medici, however you pronounce it. I thought he was free safety.
Maybe he was.
Let me go double check. Oh, they have. Okay, you know what? Toronto has. Oh, I'll just go to media guide see if they have it. Oh, that's media guide. Okay, so Toronto doesn't have theirs, so we'll have to go to our site and look at one of the games that because Toronto's already changed their depth charts. They've already removed them. So when did we play Toronto? September 20th, the last time we played Toronto. No, I don't want ours. I want Toronto's. Click here. Yeah, he was that halfback position because Mechie and Adelike were safeties in Toronto. So I'm wondering if they brought Turnowski back and Bergling, if that's how you pronounce his. Oh yeah, I forgot. We have chats. All of our lovely people. I forgot that. Yes, Connor, Ricky Bobby. Signed. Saskatchewan Roughriders signed the running back who replaced Armstead from. Let's see here. Put something to put on your green screen. Yeah, okay. Needs to sign a top receiver like Alex Hollins or a top wide receiver in the draft. Let's see here. I can see that Saskatchewan Roughriders will beat the West because we have Tommy Stevens and Jake Mayer. Oh, you guys are talking. Oh, who is? Let me just put it over on this screen for a second. The one that Brandon's talking about is, I'm trying to think. Oh, why am I doing that when I have this? No, not arms. Maybe I didn't update it on there yet because it's been a while. It was running backs. Yeah, it was Raquel Armstead. That's the only one that I can think of that came over from Ottawa. You know what, Brandon? I'm surprised we never went for Frankie Hickson, to be honest. I mean, with all the running backs that we do have. Yeah, Brandon, that's the linebacker that the one that got released by BC today. Like, so many fans of each team's wanted him. So if I put Chris Smith, remove him. Lucas, I didn't even realize that you had left.
No, it's all good. I opened it through the app, and then I can go back and forth.
Oh, did I?
To the thing.
Oh, he came from Ottawa. Gotcha. Okay. Let me go back here. I'm just trying to think. See, with me, wide receiver is always the hardest part because I'm still trying to get used to the wide receiver position, and it's like, how do you determine someone's a slot back and someone's a wide receiver?
Yeah. Okay, so you were correct about Amos being a halfback. I'm just, a ding dong. But then, yeah, keep him there. I don't know. I don't know. I'm not sold.
So
Moxie's good, and I just don't. I don't know if he's fast enough to play corner or big enough.
The question is going to be how he's going to do in Monson's defense. Because if I'm not mistaken, let me go back up here. Actually, I'll leave that there and open this on my other screen. Back, since I already have it open. I'm pretty sure he was with Calgary when Monson was the defensive coordinator.
Yeah, I have high hopes for Monson.
So when CFL 2019 was that one of Calgary's good defensive years.
20.
407. So in 2019, when Moxie first came into the league, it went us at the top defense. That's the year that we went 15-3.
What I would do for that again.
We had 344 points against. Then it was Saskatchewan with 386. The
Damn.
Eskimos with 400, and then Calgary just beat out Winnipeg by 2. And I think Monson was the defensive coordinator at that. That was also
Hamilton time.
Steinhauer's first year as head coach. Let's see.
I wonder if that's why Flowers hasn't been resigned yet, is because he's an American.
So Flowers is a linebacker, Brandon. He's a what was he was Sam, no?
Yeah, he was Sam.
I mean, he never, how do I say this politely? He was never given a chance in Hamilton as starter.
Yeah.
And I can guarantee he will not get a chance as starter now.
If something doesn't change, then.
I mean, if he does, let's say for discussion's sake, he does sign back with Hamilton. You still have Cole the second and Stubblefield ahead of him.
Okay, so if I mean, like.
And again, that's another American position that.
I'm not gonna lie. If he comes back, I would bump Stubblefield to halfback. And you guys want to throw the ball. It's just it's not gonna go anywhere. And let Flowers battle it out. Like even right now, I would consider doing that. Let Cole start because again, Cole seems like a guy that's got a great upside. Hasn't been given the proper starting chance, in Winnipeg. But I don't think anybody. Dunbar got picked up. We re-signed Smith. I don't.
So, Jake from Twitter says that he was looking at the depth chart and he says that Augustine could even start with Bell backing him up. That's the thing. Like, the only thing is, I think like you could still go Bell 1, Augustine 2, or Bell 1, Leatre 2, and Augustine 3. Because we don't have like a James Butler or a Brady Oliveira, I still think that we're going to end up having like 3 running backs this year.
I think Bell's our number 1, if I'm being honest.
No, but whoever it is going to get a lot of wear and tear over the season.
Yeah. And obviously we need a good backup, which is either going to be Augustine or
but I mean that's what Camp's going to sell is figure out is who's going to be starter.
Yeah, exactly. And I think returner's going to be a spot. I mean, my God, I would assume Bridges is locked in he's getting a starting spot, barring anything crazy, knock on all sorts of wood and everything.
If I
even think our Canadian starter for receiver.
We have we have 6 Canadian receivers. You got to be more specific, my friend.
I think Smith. I think he's our Canadian starter.
No. Well, if we're talking Canadian starters, we have 2. We have Wolotarski and Smith.
Okay. I think Wolotarski battles out the starter spot with Luther and O'Leary Orange.
So
I think Smith getting 1,000 yards last year. Wow. Maybe
so here's the thing.
Back.
So O'Leary Orange played slot back last year behind Keandre Smith.
Yeah.
The only thing that Wolotarski's doing is he's taking over Dunbar's spot because Luther Kuninavanhu was behind Dunbar.
Okay.
And then I'm missing someone else. I'm gonna go look at
Lawler.
our.
You have Lawler in there?
Nope. Yeah, Lawler's beside in between Smith and Wolotarski. I'm trying to think of who was it?
Because
I'm
like when I
definitely miss.
think of our core, in my mind, it go like not in any order. It
So I
goes
have if it was to start today, like season starts today,
yeah
our basically starters is Bridges on the left side with White.
as the white out, white as the slot.
Yeah. And then on the other side, it goes Keandre Smith, Lawler, and Wolotarski.
Okay, so I think Wolotarski and Luther and O'Leary Orange battle. I mean, like I played receiver. Going from like if you play slot, going to wide out is not hard. It's actually much easier. Um, I mean, like the routes and
Who
the
am I
patterns are pretty
missing?
much the same. You just don't have to worry about timing. Like it's
That's what it
unless you
was.
pull your
Is
unless obviously professional football, you pull your slot up to
okay.
the line and then you
So
move your wide out back.
I was actually incorrect. So Smith was the lone slot backer beside to the right of the fullback. Lawler's fullback position was O'Leary Orange and Pernowski.
Yeah.
So that's why I was trying to think of who was the other slot back. Because actually Bridges is taken. So I had it backwards. Bridges is actually taken over for Dunbar's spot, and Wolotarski's taken over for Patman's spot.
Okay.
Is how it was last year.
Yeah. Which I still think it's the same deal.
Yeah, that's the thing, Brandon, is last year, see, because even Toronto last year had 3 running backs. I just think that a lot of teams are going to start going to like 3 running backs because not only can you use the 2 of them, but you can also use the third one in short yardage. Well, not really short yardage, but like second and short passes. What I was actually told earlier was, who was it that told me? It was a Winnipeg fan. So he said that Augustine's a veteran depth who can be a spot starter in case of an injury, works hard, special teams contributor. So depending on how well he does in camp, he could be a backup.
I think he could very easily see him being a backup for.
So the thing is, even if we move Lee Trey over to fullback, and James Tuck's spot, I could still see them using him as like a running back at the same time as using Greg Bell.
Like a 1-2, kind of like an Andrew Harris.
Instead of rotating them, like one comes out, one comes in type thing, you can still use. Because I mean, Lee Trey had how many?
Yeah, and like I don't know, I would say Augustine could also be technically a fullback. He's just not very big, but like I don't know. I mean, that's not everything that matters. Like all these backup running backs, especially Canadians or internationals, like Javoni Robinson, like they're guys that can play running back or fullback. Like if you're running back in the CFL, you can play fullback. You just catch the ball a little bit more.
Even when James Tuck was our fullback last year, he got 14 out of 20 receptions for 121 yards. So he was still past the ball.
Yeah, and look up Robinson. What were his numbers?
Robinson was 8th in receiving, 19 of 23, 209 yards, three touchdowns.
And he's like 6 foot something.
9, something like that.
Yeah.
And on top of it, that was like his actual
first year.
But
he is like 30 something.
I mean, he is 31. But our thing is it seems like we like tall receivers.
Which I like tall receivers as well. Just guys are going to use Tommy Stevens for
Like
short yardage, and they're going to
they're
use him.
like if Giovanni Robinson jumps up and goes to catch a ball, there's no way anyone's intercepting off of him.
No, exactly. And I mean, Bridges is 6'4". Lawler, I think 6'2", 6'1", 6'2". But he plays like he's 6'8". Like
Yeah. Even
he
Brandon
plays like he's 6'8", 250 pounds.
Yeah.
Like it's
Even Brandon April said Saskatchewan's going to be using Tommy Stevens for short yardage, and they going to use him in a lot of different ways. That's what I mean. Like you can use.
I think you're right.
Like there's, I'm just because we have the hope. So you know what I think is going to happen. I can see it now. So I'm going to both preseason games this year.
Yeah, I am as well.
I'm going to the one in Hamilton and then going to Guelph.
Yeah, I am as
I
well.
think for the first game, it will be the starters will play probably the first quarter, if not first half.
Mm-hmm.
Then you'll see the rookies come in.
Yeah.
The second half. But in the second game, you'll see a lot of the rookies play the second game. The only thing is we only have 9 defensive, like 9 D linemen. That's not a lot.
No, I know. And I mean I don't know if you've like followed Nick Usher on Instagram.
No, I don't.
Well, he's been posting probably a couple days ago. He posted probably 8 or 9 clips of like highlights of him being with Hamilton this past year. And like was a solid piece on our D line. So also free agent. So like, yeah, I don't really know what the deal is there. Like, is that him like a retirement highlight clip? Is that a hey guys, I'm still available. Look at all my highlights from this past year highlight like clips. Is it I'm Hamilton?
Speaking
I'm
of
back.
what-
They're just not announcing it yet. Here we go. Like, let's run
Speaking
it
of,
back.
okay, you know what? We can take. Okay, this guy's retired, so he's gone. He's gone. Augustine's gone. Like Frankie Hickson will just be one of those ones where he'll get a job when someone's injured. Dunbar's gone to Ottawa or Edmonton. Lucky Whitehead retired. How's Alexander Hollins still unsigned?
I think he'll go to Montreal.
If he's gonna go anywhere, see, here's the thing. I can see him going to Edmonton because they only have 3 good receivers. That's it.
I don't think they got money for him.
I mean, where else is he gonna go?
Montreal?
Montreal already has a bunch of receivers.
Oh.
Like if I go pull up Montreal has Speaker, Rambo, Philpott, Sneed, and Mac.
Okay, fair. Ottawa's got
Ottawa
Gino,
has
Braylon Addison, Hardy.
Yeah, Hardy,
Pimpleton,
Mardner, their first round pick last year. So they don't have him. Toronto doesn't have any space.
Yeah.
Because don't forget, they just signed Mayala. They have Coxie, Daniels, Unger, Sandani, Mittal. If Paul comes back, Brissett, so they don't have any space.
Yeah, he's not going to Toronto.
He's not coming to Hamilton.
I mean, Winnipeg
has Stearns, Reggie White Jr., Cobb. Dembski, Mitchell, Clarcius, and Wheatfall. Then Ontario Wilson. He ain't going there. Edmonton only has Julian Grant, middlemost, and Gittins Jr. And
I think Edmonton.
Mathis, the guy that 6'8" that they took in the supplemental draft last year. Calgary has Bagleton, Rhymes, Philpott, Barnes, and Eccles.
I mean,
And
Calgary's an option.
Tavian Jones, so there's already 6 receivers there. Saskatchewan has Emilus, Johnson, Schaefer Baker, Baines Jr., Myers, Picton, and Alford. So really,
no way he goes to Saskatchewan. Not with Bain
and
Ellis,
and Tommy Neal that they just signed from Toronto.
Yeah, there's no way he goes to Saskatchewan.
It's really BC or Edmonton.
Yeah,
because BC has McInnes, Eberhardt, Katoy, Barry Hill, and then you have Hatcher and John. So really, you know what it is? I think his asking price is too high.
I think so too, and I think he was with BC originally, and then they released him.
I mean, if you look at it, BC released Hatcher and they re-signed him.
Yeah, I mean that. I think they wanted to let him. Like I forget what they said. Someone explained that, but yeah, I don't know.
You know what it was? I was reading into it. It's because he wanted to go. He wanted to see what he was worth before he re-signed in BC,
and then give them the chance to provide him what he is worth. And
but even Pete Robertson is still available.
Yeah,
but again, he's an American.
What's it looking like defensively? What does Toronto's defense look like?
Toronto's defense?
Yeah, I mean, like they lost a lot.
So are you just talking like defensive line?
No, I want to know mainly the backfield.
So
I put the tinfoil hat on.
Nick was talking about it last night. On his live stream. So if it was me, you would have Deontay Evans.
Oh, that's right.
Quentin Mauger is their Sam linebacker. You have McFadden.
Okay.
Franklin, George Jr., Milton. Even Will Sutherland went over there.
That's true.
And then Tyson Blackburn. So their secondary's not going to be the issue. Then they have Varga and Judge will battle out the will linebacker position.
Yep.
Then you have the linebacker king himself, Mr. Toothpick, Wynton McManus. He has the middle linebacker down. Then you have, if Quentin Mauger still wins the same linebacker position or not, he has that. And then the way that I understood it is it would have been Parrish, Lanier the second, DeMarcus Christmas from with what I've read, and Haba, who came over from Winnipeg. But don't forget, Hergot. Well, I would have to go and look to see what Hergot's. I think if I remember Nick's sheet last night, I think Hergot was a defensive tackle. Let me pull. Oh no, they don't. I'll have to go back to ours because they don't have. Keep on forgetting that Toronto took theirs down. On the 20th of September when they played us, Hergot what? Hergot was third string defensive end. So out of last year's defensive line, you only have Parrish, Hergott, and Hansen. That's it.
Yeah, that
Like
took a hit.
that's like I'm just going by with like what I've read on like social media. That people are saying like Laner and Christmas will take over Serezna and Brinkman's positions. So, I mean, it's gonna. All I can say is it's going to be an interesting year because something tells me. Let's see here. Oh yes, Brandon, thank you for that. Don't forget, Saskatchewan also has a Joe as well. He got released for the NFL. So don't forget that's another receiver that Saskatchewan has. So you know for sure he won't be going there. Also, I gotta double check. Brandon told me that the dates for the combine this year is March 21st to 23rd. I gotta see if it's on YouTube again this year. Because I'm actually curious to watch that this year. Because last year it was.
Yeah, I want to watch that as well.
Especially when we have the second overall pick.
Yeah, exactly. And like,
Let me pull it up here.
I want to see if there's a star linebacker or linebacker D-line corner, I'm in.
So last I heard that they didn't have the final rankings out yet. The top. Okay, so that's August. So we want January. So there's 2 defensive linemen in the top 4 right now.
Mm-hmm.
So in the top 10, you have Curtis Rourke, number 1, which will most likely sign a UFDA or whatever you want to call it, like the undrafted
American free agent.
Yeah, free agent for the NFL.
Yeah.
So you have Parrish Shand, who is a defensive lineman out of Louisiana State. He's from Toronto.
Like LSU?
Louisiana State.
University.
Yeah, down in the States.
Yeah, LSU. Okay.
You can
What's his
be
name?
a Canadian and still go down to the States.
Yeah. Well, I'm an LSU fan, so.
Okay. And then we have Elick Manor. He's a wide receiver from Stanford. He's currently ranked 3rd. One of the players I was told to look at is Isaiah Bagna. He's a defensive lineman from BYU.
Okay.
Then there's Keelan White, who's a wide receiver that plays from Montana. He's from North BC. And so I was told either that defensive lineman or this guy. So Jalen Smith, defensive back from North Texas, and he's from Hamilton.
Interesting.
So
there's defense. There's defense and Curtis Rourke.
Out of the top 20, you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 defensive linemen. Okay. So if you go with Jalen Smith, 2nd overall, then you can, because where's that? Okay, draft orders here. So Edmonton's already losing their 1st round pick, which bumps us up to 9th from 10th in the 2nd round. Then, depending on if BC, when the numbers come out, if BC went over the budget by 100,000 or not, they could lose their 1st round pick. Then we would be dumped down to 9th. So there's still potentially that we could still get, if they go with Um, 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 Jalen Smith, second overall. We can still get a defensive lineman in the second round.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I like that.
So Phyllis and Andy Dubois says that the Stanford receiver is going to be drafted to the NFL. Rourke and Alguerzma will be signed. Everyone else doesn't have NFL draft hype. Listen, people can still get drafted in the CFL draft. Like, look at Rourke. Nathan Rourke, that is. He got drafted second overall. Just because you get drafted in the CFL doesn't mean that you're coming up to the CFL. Like, you could get drafted and say 7th, 8th, 6th, 5th round, and then
Well, I think that's
that
what
team
happened with
owns
Buba.
your rights so that if you ever do get cut
Well, look
from
at
the
yeah,
NFL,
exactly. Look at Quantez Stiggers. I mean, I know he played a year with Toronto, 22. Got drafted or got signed, whatever. Signed, not drafted. And then played a year, had a great year, went down, signed with the Jets, played, made the 52 man, 53 man,
mm-hmm.
and apparently, not apparently, and he's still there. So,
Yeah,
I mean,
but
like,
even Betts, Matthew Betts. Matthew Betts was played in what is
Detroit.
it? And no, he played in BC. Had a
Okay,
great
yeah.
season in BC. Signed with the Detroit Lions. Did he even play any regular season games, or did he just get cut after camp?
I think he was signed to their practice squad for a bit and then was released.
Yeah, Phil's. That's what I meant. I didn't realize I said second overall. I meant second round. But like even Polk and Wilson, yeah, they could get signed by NFL teams. Who's to
Yep,
say that they even stay up
make it.
there?
Yeah, and I don't know how the rights work. Like if Stiggers gets released and he comes back to the
So
CFL.
if
Um,
so, it depends because you can be signed. So if I'm not mistaken, I'm pretty so if Polk and Wilson come back, they'd still go to their previous teams because I'm pretty sure they were still on their rookie contract
mhm.
because they're Americans, so they still had the 1+1 option for their contract. So
Yeah,
if they come back, they go to their previous teams. Because it all depends on if Toronto still has Stiggers on their negotiation list or not.
Goose. Well, that's it because I think obviously he played his one in Toronto, won the Grey Cup with them. Then he goes down to the States. There's the 1-1, and then that's up at the end of this year.
So Jake from Twitter says, I think they're going defensive end with their first round pick. Reasons for Barlow release. So I actually found
I mean, I don't know if they would.
so
I don't know if they would release somebody just because they're drafting somebody, but I think you're probably right that they're probably going defensive end, and that's probably why they haven't re-signed anybody too crazy yet. I mean, like,
but the thing is though is I get that we released Brandon Barlow, but at the same time he was also owed $30,000 signing bonus. They're paying him $200,000. And what did he have last year? He had. Let me just pull it up since I'm already on.
not anything crazy.
No. I'm just saying, like, compared to everyone else on our defense. I mean, Let's see. We had. So if we're talking tackles wise, he was 7th.
D-line,
Like, I mean,
that's not bad.
he still had 40 tackles and 5 quarterback sacks.
Yeah.
But I mean, what else do you expect from the guy?
You're getting paid $200,000. I expect at least 8 sacks. Like, I mean,
Case's sales wasn't making no 200,000, and he only had 7, but he only had 37 tackles.
I mean, tackles is hard because D-line, and it all depends what the offense does, obviously.
I guess.
But like, I don't know.
So hold on. Let me look at this, Brandon, for you. So you guys are 5th, which then becomes 4th because BC moves up a spot and Ottawa moves up a spot. Or no, sorry, they're already. What am I saying? They're already moved up a spot because Edmonton is already forfeited their pick. So BC. I'm just trying to think. I think I have BC's except for that one play that got released today.
I'm not gonna lie. I think our D-line coaching and schemes failed us last year. Like, I think it.
I'm just trying to think. So they have Covington, Banks, Betts, Pickett, and Cherry. So I can't see them going defensive ends. I could, because they have McInnes and Katoy as 2 of the 5 receivers, but they're gonna probably go 3 Americans and 2 Canadians for receiver.
Mm-hmm.
They won't go linebacker. See, BC, I don't know where BC would go. Ottawa. Let me see here. Let me just. So I gotta add. So. What else do we have for that's on top? Look, there's Damien Alford went back into the draft because he was ranked 2nd, so he's re-gone into the draft. 3 Down Nation answered that or said that the other day. So Pet's Bandy DeBoy says that the main wide receivers in drafts are Keelan. He's not even. You know what? Let me go. CFL draft ranking 2025. That's a winter list. I want no, it's fall. There has to be a new. I wish it had the top so many players per, not just the top 20, but say the top I don't know 50 prospects or something like that. Because then we could actually dig deeper. Keelan White. So let me see here. Let me go wide receivers. Okay, so Keelan White is the one that was ranked 5th from Montana, from North Vancouver. Ethan Jordan is from Wilfrid Laurier. He's ranked 16th. And Damien Alford. Phils, do you think Nolan Ohm from Eastern Washington, that was born in Kelowna?
Mhm.
No, I'm just answering someone that's in our chat. May get a shot. Let's see. Brandon says, "I hope Saskatchewan signs Damien Alford because he's 6'4". That could. I mean, there could be. I mean, I wish I could be like a fly on any team's draft discussions right now. I'll bet BC used enough marketing money not to lose their first round draft pick. I mean, don't forget they brought Betts back. They also brought back Rourke last year, and I don't know how much of their marketing money that was. Phil says that the winter list is only out right now. The final rankings come out after the combine. Okay, fair enough. Brandon, do you think the Rough Riders will sign Damien Alford in the CFL? Oh, I've already said that. Okay, so he says Ulm is staying back another year. Brandon, did you see Three Down Nations contract post today? Oh, I knocked my camera down. Lucas, did you see it?
No, I have not.
So, Three Down announced. Where is it? I know it's on their website because so they announced all of the signings of their free agents that they signed.
Okay.
So Tommy Stevens got a 1-year deal.
Yep.
93,000 in hard money with an additional 27K in play time. Then all of his bonuses, right? Including a $200 for every rushing touchdown he scores.
Okay.
Then you have Sean McEwen, which came over from Calgary, offensive lineman, making 143,000. Philip Gagnon came over from Montreal. He's 92,000. Tommy Neal had 1 year, 91,700 in hard cash, plus bonuses. This guy earns $100 for every special teams tackle he records. Could you imagine of how many special teams tackles you get in one season
That
for
would be
$100?
dude. It's a good deal right there.
I mean, even if you had what before Flowers got injured, do you remember what his because he almost set a record? Do you know what it was?
He was in the 40s.
Was he in the 40s?
I'm pretty sure he's in the 40s.
Okay, so he had 31.
Okay.
Man, that's still 30. That's still like $3,100 though.
Yeah.
Like if you had that many like special teams tackles. So Mike Rose, who we were battling with Saskatchewan, got 175,000.
D-line.
Yeah, D-line. Shane Ray, who came over from, who was with Toronto, then went to Buffalo. He signed a 1 year, 120 or 125,000.
Okay.
And then Tevon Campbell, who joined us from the NFL, he has 153,200 in hard cash. And it's funny because if you pull up Madden and you pull up Campbell, the guy's 78, between 78 and 80 overall in Madden.
I mean, like, again, these NFL guys that we signed, we have no idea what.
I wouldn't even call them NFL. I would call them more college players.
Yeah, but you know what I mean.
Because
I'm
I
saying
mean,
the states guys, but
look at
if you think
Bridges.
of it,
Bridges came out of bloody
Baltimore.
nowhere last year.
Yeah, Baltimore is his team. But that's what I mean. Like all these Americans that we signed from the states, we the corner D line, we could find one of these guys uh could turn out to be a new Matthew Betts, a new like Tyrell Ford, who kind of came out of
Yeah.
nowhere after being with the Patriots. We don't know what we're gonna find in camp. Last year, we found Bridges. That was pretty big. Um, that was about it. I mean,
So I just have a quick question, Phils. That Connor Shea, the one that you said linebacker for Wyoming, that was added. What did he play last year? Like, if you were to predict any of the linebacker positions, what would you say he plays? Because I honestly couldn't answer that question. That's why I'm asking him. But also, don't forget, Lucas, our whole scouting staff has been revamped too.
yeah, exactly. That's what I mean. We haven't what have been our top prospects over the past couple of years? Bridges.
Okay, give me 1 second. Give me 1 second. So,
Well, guys that are still on our team, guys that
oh,
Americans that we
that's
signed that
still
are
on our team, like
but
for Americans.
impact players like Bridges, Tim White, I guess if you want to call it. The 2021 I think was his first year. So, I don't know. There's more, but
Don't forget, Greg Bell came out of nowhere last year.
okay, that's a good point. But
The two rookie offensive linemen,
Bordner,
and Barrow, they came out of nowhere last year. Kyle Wilson's been with us, what, 3 years now? Or 2?
Kyle Wilson.
Yeah.
I don't know if he's gonna stick around after camp. I'm not gonna lie. He was posting some shit on his story a while back, talking about the organization and the Cats and being pretty frustrated and upset with the fact that there was no appreciation post for him and his season that he had. Also,
Why? Because he led linebackers and tackles.
yeah.
And because he had 88 defensive tackles.
Yeah, he had a pretty good year, and I think should have put something out at least, but they didn't, and he didn't like that, and took to social media, which is not really a great thing to do if you want to stick with an organization in a small league with small teams with not a lot of money.
Let me pull this up first, because I'm going to answer that, but I'm going to, and some people may or may not like what I say, but oh well. Where is he? Wilson. Okay, he's been with us, I'll say 3 seasons, because 2021 he only played 3 games.
Yeah.
So if you really think about it, 22 he had 42 tackles. 23 he only had 11 tackles in 10 games. This year he played a full season. This year is his first year after Simone was gone.
Yeah. And I kind of expected more out of him.
If you think about it, he only had 2 sacks, 1 interception, and 1 forced fumble.
Yeah.
But he also only had 88. 88.
I don't know.
I
was expecting more of an impact out of him. But
look at let me pull up the roster here. Let me go down to Edmonton. Okay. Nick Anderson had 116 total tackles, 5 special teams. Well, that's part of that. 3 tackles for loss, 3 quarterback sacks, 1 interception, and 2 forced fumbles. That's an overall player, and he's at 24.
Yeah.
even when you add in Niles Morgan, he had 122. He still had everything across the board except for an interception and a fumble recovery.
Well, that's it, right? Like I think we
Like,
were. I
but
think
at
letting.
but at the
Yeah.
same time, if you want to go, there's the door.
Yeah,
You
I
know,
mean
you're 29.
Yeah, well, that's what I mean, right? Like it's.
Because don't forget, we still have Wilburn and we still have DQ Thomas.
I'm not 100% sold on either, but again, our defensive scheme, maybe like we don't know yet. Well,
But at the same time, we also had two different defense coordinators. You're not
exactly,
having
and
you're having one guy start in all at camp.
and our and Goose and our defensive backs were not great.
So Phil says that the Connor Shea linebacker for Wyoming is a will linebacker, middle linebacker. So like I said, if we don't go defensive line, we're going linebacker second overall.
I think you're probably right.
Because if they're not sold on Wilson, Thomas, or Wilburn, they're drafting someone to start weak side linebacker.
Oh, 100%.
Oh, I gotta go to this one because that one's. So then Brandon April said Saskatchewan Roughriders signed Jordan Smith. That guy's 6'6". He can be the new Willie Jefferson. There you go. It's funny. Connor's like, "There's the door. You're 29, old F." I mean, he can, like Lucas said, he can be miserable. Listen, no contracts guaranteed. So if you don't want it, like Milanovic says, your our motto, if you're not putting in 110%, like Jordan Williams was last year after he came over from Toronto, guy retired after day one. Like, if you don't want to be here, like take a lead, flying leap, get out of here. We're not investing time.
I
And
was pretty pissed off about that. I'm not gonna lie. That whole thing with Jordan Williams and whatnot. Like, we trade for the guy, give up draft picks. I mean, it was like one pick for one pick, and it was like one pick later or whatever.
To be honest, is Combine even open to fans? I'm actually curious because if that's the case, but I'll go next year. Connor's like, I expect Rick to travel to the Combine with a clipboard to scout. Listen, I can if you know what? Let me see. I think the Combine was on YouTube last year, if I'm not mistaken. And CFL Draft Combine 2024. Yeah, so they had the 40-yard dash. Okay, so it's on the CFL YouTube channel. So they had the 40-yard dash, the live stream, the CFL Combine 2024 full day Sunday practice full live stream. So they do have it on YouTube. It's just a matter of watching it. Connor's like, you're not a fan, you're media. Listen, I got to start having my connections and getting a media pass. Because then if that's the case, could you imagine me going to Ticat press conferences?
That would be
hilarious, but I already know someone that's not very happy with me right now, but oh well, it is what it is. So Jake says from Twitter that Kyle Wilson doesn't jump off the paper to be like a wow linebacker, but we did re-sign Trevor Hoyt. He played weak side linebacker and can also fill in as a Canadian spot.
Yep.
Like, I mean, Townsend got cut last year, so he's coming back.
I mean, like for our defense, we got Amos Stubblefield. Like, we've done very well.
And Peters and Cachonas. Like, I mean,
Yeah, we've done very well.
Like,
And,
secondary, I'm not nervous for. I'm more nervous
well,
for the 2 linebacker positions and our defensive line.
yeah, I am too. But like, let's just point at names on the sheet here. You can't zoom in.
I can.
But okay, so like go. Yeah. Okay, there we go. Let's say Cole
Okay.
plays, has a great preseason, and becomes our
Mhm.
starter.
Yeah.
And we bump Stubblefield out to half to take over for Talbert. And Cole's like a diamond in the rough. Maybe he
Yeah.
comes out, and maybe he's not a best linebacker in the league type of deal, but he's maybe an all-star or a
See,
decent
so
all-star, whatever.
last year, let me see. Hopefully Winnipeg didn't take down theirs yet. If I remember correctly,
I'm a little bit nervous about our defense for linebackers and D-line as well. But like if one or two of those guys that we got or brought in this past year turn out to actually be, quite good players, which, likely that one person will.
So here's the thing. I'm saying so Cole played Will linebacker last year.
Mm-hmm.
So you could, even if Wilbur and Thomas do not step up their game in camp, you could even potentially put Cole over at Will.
Yeah.
And you could even go Cole, Baker, Stubblefield.
I'm pretty happy with that.
Because Baker started middle linebacker regardless for ratio reasons. So,
yeah,
like,
you're right. Unless we draft a Canadian linebacker. Unless we draft a Will linebacker.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like, if we draft a Canadian linebacker, that's the only way that we'll start. Because even if you don't start one, right? So let's see here. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So there's 6 Americans out of the 19 already. Because quarterbacks don't count. So then you have 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. So you have 3 spots left. Okay, kick returner,
chances are
17. So that leaves you 2 spots for Americans. Unless you do like a 3rd spot for nationalized Canadians. Or whatever you want, nationalized American, whatever the frig you want to call it. But other than that, that's like, I was trying to sit over here and predict this our team. Like, it's not going to be easy.
Yeah, I mean, I want to see, like Pill said, I want to see Brubaker get a proper chance.
I gotta move this over because this is where Augustine will go. What was that? You want to see who?
Brubaker.
Oh, yeah, the defensive end?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I'm sure he'll get playing time.
Yeah, but like if he turns out to actually be pretty good, you
See,
could
he
put him.
played
You could flip him on the other side, put him
true,
on, and then you
where
have
you gonna
a good young Canadian.
but
Ratio
then where you gonna
helps.
we're gonna use that other starter American position.
Uh,
Or it doesn't even have to be, I guess it doesn't even have to be a
um,
starter at that point. I think
well,
it's CFL roster rules. I think it's max. They don't have to be starters. Yeah, so 19 Americans, or is it 19 Americans out of the 45 on the 45-man roster. So 19 of them can be Americans.
is there? I didn't think that there was a. You have to have at least this many Americans.
Yeah, so it's max of 3 quarterbacks, no destination, max of 19 Americans, minimum 21 nationals, including 1 nationalized American,
Yeah.
and minimum of 1 global player. Well, good thing is Constantinu is going to be back because he never got signed by
Yeah,
a
he'll be back.
NFL team. So he'll be back. So there's him, Robertson, and Pavini. Those are our 3 global players unless they draft someone else this year. Because we still have that tight end that we drafted last year, but I didn't think he did that well.
What was his name?
I'm
blanking.
Yassiman or something like that. So if I'm not mistaken,
Okay.
so Phil Banbury said that you could switch Bruda Baker over on the left side, defensive end, and then that starter could be middle linebacker. Like,
Yeah.
could you imagine them signing Adam Bighill?
Well, if we so that's exactly what I'm saying. If we put Brubacher to D line
Yeah.
and he's our take Canadian out, the Canadians are still fine.
Mm-hmm.
Sign Big Hill. Like I don't care that he's 34. Sign him on a 1 year. Well, we only need
Well,
it
obviously he
only
would
takes
get a
1 year
1
to win.
year.
It only takes the Grey Cup. It only takes 1 year to win the Grey Cup. And one that would help with our D line and run defense.
But the
And
thing is, does he still have fuel in the tank though? Is
I
the
think so.
question.
I think so. And if you don't,
I mean,
well,
he
we
could
can
be a
always reach
vet
out
to
to.
our linebacker group.
I mean, look. If we sign Big Hill, I'm going to be jumping up and down. You just you know,
what is it? Global 2024.
like getting someone like him.
And we drafted Thomas Yassiman. Okay, so I want to make sure I got his name correctly. So Thomas Yassiman is 6'5", 251 pounds.
Okay.
And we drafted him last year in the global draft 2nd round.
What
So
makes
again,
between the
he could
goal? Yeah.
turn around and replace Robinson, even though Robinson's 31.
Yeah.
No, it says I wouldn't want Big Hill. I mean,
What makes you not want Big Hill? Elaborate.
no, it's just from Toronto, so he's an Argos fan. But I mean,
Oh,
if it's, I'm just trying to think. Oh, here's another one for you, Lucas. Do you see Cross coming back next this season because he never played last year, but he's still under contract?
well, that is very true. Yeah.
Like
I mean, and he's
there's
Canadian as
another
well.
There's another Sam linebacker position for him that he played on special teams.
Yeah. I mean, old and slow. I mean, how old and slow is he? Like,
Like, I don't think he's that old. He is.
I mean, I think he's like 33, 34.
But you're not even close.
35, 36.
He's only 25.
Who? Oh, I'm talking about Big Hill.
Oh, I'm talking
My
about Nick
bad.
Cross.
Oh, no. I'm talking about Big Hill.
36.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, yeah, he's old.
Old and slow, Noah says. Old and slow. But like I said, we're either gonna go defensive line or linebacker, second overall. It's just gonna be. Oh, I was working on this and I forgot to do it. Trying to find out.
Yeah, but like,
Go ahead.
I don't know. I mean, like, yeah, okay, he's old, he's slow, whatever. But like, one, we need that big, heavy hitting middle linebacker, which he is. And like, you don't. Yeah, I don't know. It's hard.
Wow. So this Phillip Brooks guy that we signed yesterday with Augustine
Yeah.
is from Kansas State. Was on Kansas City's practice squad last year.
Okay.
This guy's 5'7", 175.
And what does he play?
Wide receiver.
He's a returner.
Why? Just because he's short?
Yeah, his size alone.
Like I wouldn't even.
He's a returner all day long. It's a
No,
perfect
no.
returner build.
I know.
Tiny.
I'm just trying to think. I guess slotbackers are big receivers, and then wide receivers are short. Is that how it works?
I mean, it's kind of like a.
Oh, Noah, that was Phillip Brooks that we signed yesterday from Kansas State. Here, I'll show you the. This is. I pulled him up on Wikipedia. He's a wide receiver specialist. I'm just trying to think. So his 40-yard dash was 4.51 seconds.
4.5.
Yeah, that was at his pro day.
I mean, that's not. And what? Sorry, what is he? A receiver?
Receiver, special teams specialist.
No, he's not that fast. I mean, he's fast. Don't get me wrong.
I mean, what's Brandon Banks's?
Oh, that's true.
I mean, Brandon Banks was only 7 seconds faster, or 0.7 seconds faster.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, like we're used to guys.
And he's the same height as Brandon Banks was.
Well, then I guess that means he's the next Speedy B.
No, I was told it was who was it?
I'm probably gonna have to head out in a couple minutes here.
Yeah, it's fine.
But yeah, we can.
So Uberry says, "Hey guys, Nick S here. Great to see you guys work on the Ticat depth chart." So, Nick, if you followed me on the free agent show, I had. Oh, speaking of which, let me just go over here because I gotta update this with what we know. We have. Oh, what the heck is his name? Casey. Who is it? Crehan? Lucas, do you remember what that is? It Crehan? I think it's
I don't
Crehan.
remember. I do not remember. No.
Yeah, Crehan. Okay, so it was Crehan. Linebacker was it's gonna blow my mind. Jake, I'll answer your question in a second about those 2 draft picks because I know how it works. It works. Oh, while I'm looking this up. So basically, those 2 draft picks in the second round. So whichever team has the most snaps of the highest national snaps for all national players in the CFL get those 2 spots. That's how that works.
Okay. Interesting.
Yeah, so it's kind of better if you play more Canadians because then you get that extra. So what these were, Lucas, is do you remember in the draft before we used to have regional picks?
Yes.
That's what those replace.
Okay.
Oh, what was? I gotta go back and look at my private messages because I know I messaged them in there of what the other 2 new coaches were.
Oh, our okay. Yeah, I know what you're saying.
Okay, this guy. So Elijah San Weiss is our linebackers coach. Elijah San Weiss. Oops. I think Dennis McKnight will be back because I seen a post on social media saying that he was doing some things with youths, and it said
In
current
Hamilton.
present. Yeah.
Okay, then he'll probably be back.
Okay, so Brendan Walsh is our offensive line coach. Like, what are the chances of us finding this out before it's actually announced? So, we just need receivers, running back, and DB coach because quarterbacks coach is most likely same
Milanovic.
guy as that it was last year. Let's see here. Brooks returned 3 punts for touchdowns in college, super athletic, and 2-time All Big 12 as a returner. That was that 5'7" receiver returner that I was just talking about. So Yarber, the thing is, it's supposed to be, last time I heard it anyways, is Toronto was going to do a double
Defensive coordinator thing?
yes, thank you. It was supposed to be not Fields, the other guy that was working with Fields last year, and apparently Shivers is supposed to be the DB coach. That's the last I heard a couple of weeks ago through the names on social media. Yes, I know Noah. That's it. Yeah, Noah was the one that sent me that post that was at the CFL showcase. So he was at the CFL showcase in San Diego. He interviewed the draft prospects and addressed the group. Yes, thank you. Kevin Ebine was the other. So I think so it'll be him and I guess Shivers, if I'm not mistaken. Now the funny thing is, so how did I find out about ours? So I found out one followed me on social media. One of the other Ticats season ticket holders messaged me about the other one. and I forget how I found out about the last one.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Like, I got a good feeling. I don't know. It's a weird feeling. I've been talking to some of my season seat holders
My
that sit around me, and you know, they all
my
agree that we have.
my thing is what four teams, or sorry, what two teams are missing the playoffs this year?
What do you mean? Like, what, 3 teams?
Yeah, like what three teams are missing the playoffs? Is it going to be three West
Um,
teams? Is it going to
mhm.
be two West and an East? Because I
No,
can tell you
I think
the the East is packed with receivers.
yeah. I don't know.
That's why I think it will be.
I think it's gonna be close. I don't think Edmonton's shit anymore. Um,
Yeah, but
I
so the
I
thing
think
is,
Toronto regresses. I think
Edmonton doesn't have any like outside of the three receivers, unless anyone steps up. They have no receivers.
yeah.
Calgary, they have they have Vernon Adams, but not really much people on defense.
Well, I mean, like, okay,
BC comes down to if Nathan Rourke shits the bed or not.
okay. So my thing about Toronto regressing, because is there bias there? Absolutely, but like, think about it like this: Toronto. I know they just won the Grey Cup, so it's kind of crazy, but like, they made the playoffs not by a lot.
They
Um,
still finished over Ottawa.
no, well, okay, I guess, but Ottawa was shit.
That's Ottawa just
But
barely made
but
the
like
playoffs.
the East was close, yeah, but like take a couple games
That's
away, like two,
that's
three
why I'm
games, and
saying.
the playoffs is different. Like Toronto doesn't make the playoffs, and it always comes down to that. But like Toronto lost a lot, and I know they lost a
Yeah, but
lot after 2022.
y-
Uh,
yeah, but
but like
Lucas, what you don't understand with Toronto is even even if Toronto lost players, you still have people like we have that can go out and find Americans like they're a dime a dozen. We found Bridges, they found Polk. Like there's two 1,000 yards
100%,
receivers
yeah.
in their first year. You don't know who they have on their
No, but
negotiation.
I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about like leaders, because like after 22 they lost a lot of the defensive guys like Pickett and
I
you
mean,
know but like look at it like this: they lost their D line, the leaders. They
okay, so you're
lost
saying it's more leadership than it is players.
yeah, which trickles down. I know they have McManus, but that trickles down into maybe practice not being as tight, which we felt it too after Simone retired. Like the sidelines was not as it was not the same. Like you're missing
I
leadership.
mean, Simone was still on the sidelines,
Yeah,
just
but you know
not
what I mean.
dressed.
He's not, he's not tearing into people on the sidelines and doing like stuff like that. I don't know, man. It's just you lose the leadership and you lose that chemistry, and the chance to, not gel together as a team needs to be super successful, and to keep being dominant. It's easier for it to go away.
I'm just saying, like, if anyone can find players to replace other players, I do give Pinball Clemens credit for that because him or his scouting staff, whoever it is, they always seem to find players.
Oh yeah, yeah. I mean,
Like, I mean, you
that's just they
have
win the Grey Cup every 5 years,
um,
except for last year.
what
But
is
like,
it? Benji Franklin last year stepped up.
yeah.
Um, I have to hold on. I gotta pull up the roster. Give me 1 second. Let me pull this up
Yeah,
here.
like I don't know. I mean, you lose. I don't know, dude.
Okay, so
I'm
you
just
still
also being a bit of a hater. I mean, it's just
well,
like
I mean,
I don't know. I'm trying to take that out of it. Just like you look at what they
the
lost,
difference
and
the difference between some Ticat fans and me is I will support any team. I mean, I will still bleed black and gold. But I mean, if Hamilton's not playing at home, I'll go to Toronto and watch a game,
oh yeah,
regardless of who
whatever.
the fuck's playing. Like
Like,
I'm more of
all
a
right, so hold
league
on. You lost
wide.
Amos. You lost Brinkman. You lost Robbie. I mean, Robbie Smith was like new, but Robbie Smith, Serezna, um, who else is on that
Yeah,
defense?
but in the end, you're still gonna have to replace them. You're gonna be
Yeah,
replacing with other veteran leadership, though. Like they
yeah,
brought
but
Laner the
the
second
same.
in. They brought Christmas. They brought Haba. They brought Sam or Cameron Judge back. Varga, who was the top tackler in BC last year, and he's only 23.
Yeah, so I mean, who
Benji
knows? Who knows
Franklin
what it comes down
was
to?
I believe a rookie last year, and he led the secondary. Well, currently secondary, not what the player's gone, but he still led with the
Yeah, I mean
current.
they replace guys, you bring in Judge and
But
Lanier and
sometimes
whatnot.
that's what happens. You
Yeah,
win.
exactly. And
You
sometimes it
win.
doesn't
I
change
don't know how
anything.
many Grey Cups in a row, and then people want pay increases.
Yeah, and then you lose a bunch. It's just with I don't know. You never know what it comes down to. You never know. No one knows what goes on behind the closed doors and who's responsible for what aspect. You just like if one of those guys was a huge locker room presence that none of us would ever really know about, and I don't know. It's just you never know. Anything can happen.
Yeah, you've
Yeah,
already
yeah. I don't know.
or Milane. Yeah. Um, let's see here. Smith, Srezna, Brinkman.
Yeah, like there's
Yeah,
just a lot
Parrish
of
was.
pieces.
Yeah, but the thing is, with even those depth pieces that were on the team last year, you never know them given a chance of what they could turn into.
Oh well, that's just it.
Like
That's
for
the game.
example, Tyson Hergod's 23. He's a national player for them. He played in 15 games, only had 9 total tackles. He starts. Okay, so that 9 total tackles turns into 30. Could turn into 5 or 6 sacks.
Yeah.
Like you don't.
Yeah,
I
exactly. You
mean,
don't know.
don't get me wrong. Toronto. If you look at Toronto's numbers, their team was still good, but
Yeah, exactly.
but at the same time, 10 out of 18 games, their defense still let up 30 plus points. But their team was still good last year.
Yeah. I don't know. It's just one of those
I
things you
just
never
think
know
that
what
if
changes
if
what.
if this is going to be the year that 4 teams from the East make the playoff, it's going to be this year. I just don't know what 3 teams are going to miss from the West, but with the offense that the East has, you'll see the top. I want to say maybe the top. I wouldn't say the top because we don't know what kind of offense Drew Brown's going to have this year.
Yeah, I mean I don't know. A lot can change. We don't know.
I mean, I'd like to see what Winnipeg's going to even pull up this year because Winnipeg may not have a decent year.
Yeah, I mean you lose a couple key pieces, and a lot can change. We felt that. Like you feel that shit and over positionally, like you just I don't know, players lean on each other. And if, there's one guy on the defense that's getting leaned on a lot, if it's like, let's say Amos, like if just mentally, I don't know, it's hard. How much of it is also just bias, hoping Toronto misses the playoffs because that'd be great. Yeah, of course. Got to take that into account, and that's just what happens.
But
I think concern right now is either D line production. Uh,
it won't be the linebackers. I can tell you for a fact it will not be
yeah, I
linebackers.
think it's going to be D line. And, again, I don't want to go into it with a bad mindset, but then like
I
defensive
mean, you could
coordinator.
say that about any team. It's not really bad mindset. I mean, you could say that about any team. Like Quentin Moget, the guy played 8 games at Sand linebacker and he had 33 tackles
Yeah.
just in 8 games. So I
Yeah.
mean,
So
any
bigots.
team has any team could have a weak spot.
Yeah,
It's
exactly.
what we see on paper now. What we see on paper now and what we see in season are 2 completely
Oh,
different
yeah.
things.
Who knows what it's going to come out and look like and what it's going to come out and be like. On paper right now, it looks like, okay, it's going to be good. But, season hits and it could be rough. Like, who knows? Like, that's what we
So
felt last year.
if I had to guess it, see that the East is so much harder to predict than the West.
Yeah.
So even with Vernon Adams at QB in Calgary, I don't know if that even makes much of a difference.
Well, exactly. What does it come down to? Coaching?
No, because you think about it, okay. So if you look at their secondary, so you lost Houston and you basically replaced Houston with Webb.
Yeah.
That's pretty much it. You have Adrian Green who came over from I think BC. Then you have Sanders who had Sanders, LeBroy's, and Tyler Richardson. So there's 5 DBs there. You have Moncrief and Sopik and Gary Johnson Jr. Like their defensive line, they have Ormalade and really
Yeah, I don't know.
that.
I think it's going to be close. I think it's going to come back and be a very close playoff race because nobody's like really looking that bad. And
I mean, if you look at you have Antoine Mills as their, but here's the thing: if and just hear me out, if Vernon Adams was to go down, get injured,
yeah,
you only have PJ Walker under contract right now.
yeah, that is like
Like,
obviously you don't hope for
I
anybody to
hate
get
always
injured.
bringing up the quarterbacks' injuries and stuff, but let's be honest with
It can
quarterbacks in
happen.
this league. I think was it not 1 year where at least every quarterback in this
Last year,
league.
last year, Bo was the
Yeah,
only
but
Bo was the only one that stayed healthy.
no, except yeah. So like at least every year there's going to be a quarterback that goes down. If Vernon Adams goes down, PJ Walker, I don't know if he has um let's see here. I don't know if PJ Walker has enough to lead them into the playoffs.
No, exactly. We don't know,
So
right? Like,
then you include, okay, so
I mean,
I'll
also
just
like
put this.
Montreal. What
Okay,
happens?
so
What happens if Davis Alexander?
yeah, but you
You
still have
know,
McLeod Bethel Thompson.
yeah, I don't know. I mean, we saw him in Edmonton. Like,
But the difference between Edmonton and Montreal as a whole, like look at Montreal's receiving core.
yeah, I know, but like, I mean, Edmonton. Yeah, I
I
know. I mean,
mean,
it's just hard.
if Nathan Rourke should be able to come back,
100%.
bounce back, and they have James Butler.
Yeah, but like, yeah, what?
The
That's the thing. Like,
only
this league is so big on if one injury happens, like one significant
the
injury.
only thing is Keon Hatcher and McInnes. Is McInnes going to have another big season? You don't know because half of last year he did well with Vernon Adams.
Yeah. I think them switching it like they did was why they missed the playoff. Well, not missed the playoffs, but why they were not
So,
successful in the playoffs because that team was a force to be reckoned with. And then they bring back Rourke, and then they immediately start him, completely throws that team out of whack, and then you know you're learning a whole new quarterback, whole new system, whole new everything like that, and it's
to me, it's just like, yeah, Edmonton has Cody Fajardo and Trey Ford.
yeah,
You have Rankin and Leak. You only have Gittins, Julian Grant, and Middlemost. Middlemost only had 43 yards last year in 17 games.
yeah.
That's
Here I
not
am gonna have
much.
to head
So
out now.
really, yeah, that's fine.
I don't know.
I'll just keep on talking.
It'll be interesting.
Yeah.
It'll be a good season. It'll be a great season.
Then you have Curly Gittins Jr., Julian Grant for
Mm-hmm.
receivers. Then you have their 4 defensive backs. From there, you have the two-headed monster and Nick Anderson and Niles Morgan.
Yep. Yeah, that
You
defense is good.
have Tyrell Ford, Royce Mechie, Kobe Williams, and then Kay Gray and Cordell Jackson. So
Yep.
their secondary is not a problem. Maybe kicking is going to be their problem because they only have 2 kickers but no punters.
Yeah, they're not hard to find.
So,
All right, man. Well, I appreciate it.
yeah,
You have yourself a good night.
you too.
All right, man. Take it easy.
Yep. Winnipeg. I didn't realize my camera was falling down. With Winnipeg, because Claris is 36, Strevler can't throw. Do you have Shea Patterson or Jake Dolagala as your second string, and then just use Chris Strevler as your short yardage? Because I don't think Terry Wilson will be on their roster come regular season. Then you have Oliveira and Logan. Okay, I get that. You have Dembski, Mitchell, Clarcius, Wheatfall, Schoen, Cobb, Stearns, and Reggie Miller. So to me, it's just the East is so hard to predict. Because there's so much offense in the East. Like you have, I'm just talking, when I say offense, I'm just talking receivers. So you have Tim White, Bridges, Keandre Smith, Woldarski, and Lawler. So there's 6. You go to Toronto, then you include Coxie, Daniels, and when I say those 2, we're talking at least 700 plus yards. Then you include Speaker, Rambo, Philpott, Mack and Sneed if they're healthy. So that's 13. Then you also include Hardy, 14, Pimbleton, 15, and 16 is Eugene Lewis. Like there's so many top receivers in the West or in the East. Unless Drew Brown. So the only way Ottawa makes the playoffs and an East team misses it in the East is Hamilton's defense craps the bed and Drew Brown has a bad year, or Ottawa overall has a bad year and Hamilton as overall has a good year. Because I think it's our defensive line and one or two of our linebacker positions that I think is the key for Hamilton's weakness. That's my opinion. Now everyone will have a different opinion, but that's like I don't think it will be running back. I don't think it will be quarterbacks. Receivers will be good. Offensive line will be good. Barlow I need to release because he went to Edmonton. It's gonna be defensive line and most likely linebackers. unless you have players coming out of nowhere. Plus, you have a new defensive coordinator, so you don't know what the defensive coordinator's schemes are going to be like. So, I honestly don't know. Seems like linebacker Laybourne going to be wearing 34. It's funny, Brandon, because we just had a bunch of players in Hamilton just change a bunch of their numbers. Yeah, Phil's it's not like I said, let me go back to our depth chart here. It's not going to be our secondary. Our secondary, I think, is going to be fine. I would say if Stubblefield can hit his potential, then I say it's going to be our weak side middle linebacker and our front four. So I would say our front six if you include this and our front four. So Yarbury. So what my plans are for the season is depending on what team is road. I know the Hamilton game's not in Toronto. I will be live streaming, or I won't be live streaming. I'll be doing watch alongs with graphics and everything like that. Toronto road games. I may do like outside of Hamilton games, I'll probably be doing some non-Hamilton watch alongs on here. Just because it's a Hamilton channel. I just like I said, I'm a Hamilton season ticket holder, but I support the whole league. Retired number. You know what? Saskatchewan Rough Rider retired numbers. Let's the retired CFL numbers teams. Okay, so only 10 and 68 are in Hamilton. Yeah, so 34 is retired for George Reed. So the only way that I could see him getting 34 is maybe if they get permission from okay, so these are unofficial retired numbers. So it's still quite possible. Let's go see if there was any new signings today. Today's 22nd, so no new signings today, as I can see. Brandon, did you see what Charleston Hughes said today in the media? I'm actually quite curious if you if you've seen what he said. Let's see here. That's let's see. Yeah, okay, got that. Yeah, it's just yeah, they posted a bunch of new jersey number changes. It's just I don't know. It's going to be an interesting Okay, yeah. So you did read it too. Yeah, I read it, and it's just it. But here's the thing, though: is it really because he went to Toronto and he didn't see eye to eye, or is it just because he came to East? Because if I remember correctly, oh, I'm already here. Let me go to Saskatchewan. Because if I'm not mistaken, I'm pretty sure when Micah Johnson first left Saskatchewan and he came to Hamilton, he had great numbers. Yeah, he had 24. He had 24 defensive tackles and 7 sacks. So maybe Charleston Hughes wasn't used as much in Toronto as he was in Saskatchewan. I honestly could not tell you what the actual reason was, but I just thought that was interesting. Oh, and what was the other one? There was 3 down. Not just the Saskatchewan one. There was, what other team was it? There was another team. Was it Winnipeg? That announced. Let's go to Twitter because I know it's on. I know it's going to be on Twitter. Let's delete that one for a second. Let's go over here. 3 down. Who was? Okay, so I think it was Winnipeg. Oh yeah, Eugene Lewis was angry because Edmonton didn't offer him any money or didn't offer him a contract. And then Saskatchewan didn't offer him as much, so he went to Ottawa. Oh, what team was it? I could have sworn. I think it was John Hodge that did it. John Hodge. Oh, yeah, it was John Hodge. Okay, so the Winnipeg Blue Bombers, their top receivers. Dylan Mitchell got 148,000. Yeah, but the thing is, he could have came into Hamilton and he could have done well. Like, I don't know. I honestly couldn't tell you what, just because he did well in Saskatchewan, he could have came back to Hamilton, did well there. Dale Mitchell got 148,000 in hard cash and 63,300,000 in signing bonus. Jonathan Jones got a $15,000 signing bonus. So Jonathan Jones was with Toronto last year and got 120,500. Let's see. Peyton Logan got a $10,000 signing bonus on a deal that sees him get 107,500. In hard money. Shea Patterson's only getting 88,000 in hard money, and he's gonna serve as a depth role at quarterback, plus incentives. So Reggie White and Jarrett Stearns will both make between 85,000 and 90,000. So those are bargain contracts. Because they both are trying to bring back their careers. Let's see. So receiver Gavin Cobb, Brock Gowanlock, Josh Haggerty, and Enoch McConzo, who was with us last year, will all make between 80 and 85,000 in hard money plus incentives. None of the additions to have whom played collegiate at University of Manitoba. I think, was there anyone else? So Jones took 8,000 in market money. Logan did 7,500. Oh, Vaughters, that's who I'm missing. Vaughters, I think, got 6 figures, if I'm not. All right, because here's Winnipeg's offense. So you got Bryant, Randolph, Kolmowski, Newfield, and Lofton at the line. Mitchell and Wheatfall at the X, with Reggie White and M. Mitchell at the W receiver, with Oliveira and Logan at running back. So they have Shea Patterson as the third string, Wilson as fourth, and Dolagala as 5. Chris Ike as fullback, and then Clarcius and Schoen and Dembski on the R, Y, and Z receiver slot. Bonds, Nichols, Griffin II, Holm, and Parker. That safety position. No, not the safety. The corner. The corner where Ford used to play. That's going to be. I mean, with the year that Ford had, that's going to be a hard spot to replace. Then they have Logan at returner, Jonathan Jones at will linebacker, T. Jones at middle linebacker, and Cramdy at Sam linebacker with Castillo kicking. And then we have Vaughters, Thomas, Wids, and Jefferson at the defensive end. But I'm pretty sure it said Vaughters. What was Vaughters' contract? Vaughters CFL contract. Signed a 1-year deal. But I thought I seen somewhere where it was like 100 and something thousand. Yeah. No, I could have sworn it was like 100 and some odd thousand. Let me go back to my thing here. I don't know why everyone else has named their coaching staff except for us. Because, I mean, Combine's in a month, less than a month. No, it's about a month. Draft is beginning in May. Week later, training camp begins. Like, we pretty much have learned the staff just by posts I've seen on social media. I've seen 2 coaches follow me on social media. Like, it will be I'll just say it will be an interesting year as to who finishes where. Because it's still anyone's game as to who's going to finish where, and it's all about next man up mentality. But let's see here. Let me just pull this up. Because if someone goes down injured, then, it's next man up. But we will leave things there as it's 10 o'clock, and I'm going to go get ready for some Madden with some CFL. So that's going to be on my gaming channel, which I will leave. For those on YouTube, I'll leave a link to that playlist in the description once it's ready. Once I have the playlist and videos ready, I will put a link in or a link on my on my Twitter, and then I'll also include my gaming channel for Twitch. That will also include it as well. So, because Nelson hasn't done his update to Saskatchewan yet, he's going to be doing it after training camp. So, Gord on Twitter has done all 8 teams except for Saskatchewan. So, if you want to go have an updated roster, Gord has it over on, if you pull up on Madden, you can find him under Gord 4242 Gord. Like I said, he has everyone but Saskatchewan. If you want to do a Madden franchise with all CFL teams, the only thing that you will have to do is if it's the team that you're playing, and you want all 9 teams, go use Nelson's rosters. Nelson is, let me pull him up. His is, I'm trying to think of what he goes by on. Oh, he's doing his updated old school. There's Toronto's double blue, old school, like second, third jersey. I'm just trying to think of what. I'm sure he'll post on here what his. I'll find it and I can post it in the comments down below for those people that are looking. And so if you want updated rosters, any other team except for Saskatchewan, use Gord. If you want 9 teams and the team that you're playing, you'll just have to update it from last year's rosters, use Nelson. I just can't remember what Nelson's gamer tag that he goes by. But like I said, I will leave all the links down below as to when the videos do come out. But this is Rick from Ticats Talk Network, and have yourself a great rest of your evening. 175.